What's going on, people? In today's episode of Off the Pitch Talks, we are going to be talking about Crystal Palace's demotion from the Europa League to the Europa Conference League, despite winning the FA Cup and rightfully qualifying for the Europa League on merit. The simple reason is that majority shareholder John Textor, who owns 40% worth of shares in Crystal Palace, also owns 70% of French club Olympique Lyon. All comes under the football umbrella of the Eagle Football Group, which breaches UEFA's rules on multi-club ownership, where a single individual is not allowed to have, that has shares in two or more clubs, is not allowed to have more than 25% in a club where they have a majority shareholding in another club. In this case, Textor owns 70% of Lyon and 40% of Crystal Palace, and they missed the deadline to put the club into a blind trust, which was March the 1st of this year. The main mitigating factor as to why Palace weren't placed in a blind trust by the deadline of March the 1st this year was that they had no idea they were going to win the FA Cup or qualify for UEFA competition through their league position. Palace were only, on March the 1st this year, were just about to face Millwall in the 5th round of the FA Cup, so they still had another 2 rounds before they effectively got to the final. As to why they hadn't been placed into a blind trust, they had no idea that they were going to win the FA Cup. Another all through their league position, because they were competing in the bottom half of the league then. And also John Textor has also said that he has no say in the day-to-day running of the football club. Any suggestions he makes are ignored by Steve Parish and the rest of the board. So Textor has argued that he is only a sleeping partner and has no say in the day-to-day running of Crystal Palace Football Club, but has said that he had plans to invest in their playing squad and to incorporate them under his multi-club ownership umbrella of Eagle Football Group that consists of Olympique Lyon, the French club, and Brazilian club Botafogo, and a club in Belgium I think are called FC Brussels if I'm not mistaken. But he had plans to bring them under his multi-club ownership to exchange players and data effectively between the clubs. But club chairman, Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish, has only turned around and said to him, no, that's not happening. Crystal Palace are a proud South London standalone club that do not get involved in multi-club ownership models, which has led to Textor wanting to sell his stake in Crystal Palace to US businessman and New York Jets owner Woody Johnson, which is currently going through the owners and directors test, subject to Premier League approval. But in the meantime, he's still effectively is Crystal Palace owner, and which is why another factor in why UEFA has considered in their decision. But I don't think they should, because sooner or later he's going to be gone from the scene soon, and obviously with Lyon qualifying for Europa League next season, that would not become a conflict of interest in terms of multi-club ownership. So, as expected, this has not gone down well and left a bitter pill in a lot of everyone's mouths, especially the Crystal Palace board and their fans, who went out and protested outside the stadium the other night, which I have to take my hat off to them for doing, showing to UEFA that football without fans is nothing, and fans come first. And also, I hope they get it appealed, in my view, because Crystal Palace, they qualified for the competition by a fair means of qualifying, winning a cup competition. A lot of clubs that win cup competitions these days have already qualified for UEFA European competition through their league positions. So I thought it was just the whole fact of Palace winning the FA Cup was a fairy tale within its own right. How often do you see a mid-table team winning a cup competition these days? So I really hope they get it appealed, and I really hope their fans, especially the Holmesdale fanatics, go out there and just keep protesting, showing to UEFA that fans come first, and football without fans is nothing. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Off the Pitch Talks, and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. And also hit us up on the socials at OTP Talks. Thank you for listening.